if you can look at the place where you were, where most of us are, where you were born or where you work or where you stay, to say, is it true that there's nothing has changed where I stay? The conclusion, a majority of cases will say no. And that is why even people who demonstrate sometimes and march in what they call service delivery protest, they go and meet in a hall which has been built since 1994 and make a decision to go and burn a library which was built 2 years ago because there's a pothole on the road which was not touched before. So, the challenges we face as a country, the majority of them is as a result of the success we have, and I'll illustrate why I say so. Before 1994, there's no government department I knew which has the responsibility to provide toilets, what we call sanitation. Sanitation is toilets for anybody, unless if you're in a township and it's as part of the house. But today we talk of a situation where 85% of South Africans have got access to sanitation facilities. And there's a definite government program to provide sanitation to the nation. Some people, they say, we only focus on the good part of the story and we don't focus on the bad part of the story. So I'll give you both. The bad part is that we still have 15% who don't have the toilets, but we've got 85% who has.
It's 20 years since 1994. I'd advise now that you divide that 20 years into 4 quarters. You measure yourself against yourself, because you cannot measure yourself against advantage. That thing, it's like measuring inch I know against inch I think. That thing, you cannot measure yourself against that thing. It's pathetic, you know, because the thing was an act against humanity. It is not a period where development took place. We're looking at development now. For the past 20 years, you must say between 2004 and 2009, this is how far we went. Between 2009 and 2014, this is how far we went. We won those things. Because even saying, oh, between 1994 and 2014, this is how far we went. We don't know about within the first 10 years, then within the second 10 years, nothing happened, you understand? We want those things because they will help us as development practitioners, because we cannot just go out there. We need your help as government.
We are a product of apartheid. So, we should not allow ourselves to be told to forget what happened before 1994. We must always remind ourselves, where do we come from? Because if we don't do that, generations to come, our people would never know that when you go to a restaurant in town, blacks were only allowed to buy through the window, and whites were allowed to work through the door and buy. And the money was the same. I'm not sure about the price, whether through the window or getting a different price, because I have never went through the door, so I didn't know the prices on the other side of the same restaurant. If we don't continue to say it, people won't know that you were not only not allowed to eat together or to marry or to stay together. You were also not allowed to go to the same toilet. It is a humiliating experience which blacks went through. And unless, if you start from there, you would never be able to understand the challenges we face and appreciate the steps we are taking to deal with them. But however, if you go to our report, we are giving you statistics year by year, from 1994 actually, not even from before. Where we raise the issue of before is where we make it as a point of reference. All our graph says from 1994, there's where we electricity was here, this when it went, this when it went. That's why we're at 86, year by year. So we're comparing against ourselves.
Thina sizipasile i-matric ngalo maxesha sizipasa ngawo kodwa xa si-aplya for learnerships ziye zithathe i-age limit. Ithini into efana naleyo?
Comrade Minister, I am a student of political science and public administration. Now, I need funding myself. And we talk about these bursaries of IT, these bursaries of science and maths and whatnot, but never has it been addressed the issue here students who are studying political sciences and public administration, in particular this university. And that's the problem, Comrade Minister.
How would be the economy if the country could implement a policy of combining entrepreneurship and education system, whereby all students from FET colleges, apparently from grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, and university students, all courses, all faculties, all students are doing and engaging in entrepreneurship to ensure that we increase and we make a stability on the economy of the country, to increase the GDP of the country, and also to increase the employment.
I won't comment about the comments which have been made. I think some of them were recommendations. I think we've noted them. We'll transmit them to the relevant authorities so that they're able to look at them. And it is a reality that the majority of us who schools, particularly in public schools in black areas, do not have the necessary facilities for us to build a building block for us to be there where other students will be. And amazingly, in spite of those difficulties, you have got a number of black engineers, a number of black doctors. All those people, most of them, they didn't even know what a beaker is or what a test tube looked like until they went to university, let alone to know a computer. So whilst those facilities are critical, let's not wait for them to arrive before we take education serious. Let's continue to soldier on. Let's make use of the best of what we have. But I can guarantee you that one day and not long, our children, our grandchildren will have facilities which will enable them to do that. But for us to arrive there, we have to utilize what we have to arrive at that point.